Hello and welcome to Bloke on the Range, and this is an addendum to a CN Arsenal episode, specifically the one on the Norwegian Krag, because this is a rifle to which Matthias didn't have access. My good friend Buddy, who is over there with his puppy, is the proud owner of this, managed to pick it up for surprisingly little money in a gun shop here in Switzerland, and I told Matthias about it and he said, take me photos. So I've taken him some photos and now going to do some video to show you all about it. Now this is serial number 8 of the 1893 trial series, so the last trial series before they adopted the rifle as the 1894. I suggest you go and watch the CN Arsenal video because there's no point in me repeating what he's already done. Please go send him some traffic, link in the corner, link in the description below. You can have a look at what an 1894 looks like and then you'll see what the differences are with this when I take you through it. Now, interestingly, this is in the semi-rimmed Union cartridge. So a little bit of background is that Sweden and Norway wanted to decide commonly on a common cartridge, and ideally common rifle. The common rifle didn't happen. The Swedes ended up with their version of the Mauser. The Norwegians ended up with the Krag, but the Norwegians wanted rimless ammunition. The Swedes wanted rimmed ammunition. They came to some nasty compromise that pleased no one and went for semi-rimmed, like 6.5 Japanese and a few other oddities like that. Now, ultimately, what happened was that the Swedes were looking at the Mauser rifle series, and Paul Mauser apparently said, rimmed, that's dumb, go rimless. And to be honest, it's funny that the Norwegians, with the Krag, which has an omnivore magazine that doesn't really care, rimmed, rimless, semi-rimmed, it'll basically eat anything relatively easily. The Mauser magazines can be made to work for all three, of course, but they work far, far better with rimless, as we all know now. So, anyway, I'll stop blathering about this. You can pause the video and go watch a much, much better video by Matthias and May. It'll explain a lot more in detail, and then I will put this on the stump down there and take you through it. So, to prove we're dealing with what I'm saying we're dealing with here is the 1893 manufacture date, and I'm sorry I'm hand holding this, I'm working on my own, Chappie's not here. There we have the serial number 8, and it should be immediately apparent that this rifle has been through a lot during the trials. In fact, the rifling is in rag order. You'd say it was Metford. It's that rounded off. Now this has everything on it that makes a Krag. So we have a cock on open Krag bolt with a flag type safety on the back. Even that's numbered to the rifle there. Look at that. We have a magazine cutoff. Up is single shot and down is magazine fire. That's marked AA and S. The magazine is the classic Krag side hinged open semi capsule magazine, so you dump your loose rounds in there. There's a sprung lever arm there that forces them up and under, and I don't know if you can see it, you can't, it's on the CN Arsenal animation. There's a little cutaway rod in there that is attached to the cut-off flag that stops the round being presented to the bolt. So if we look on the underside here, we have the little hatch to get at the bits there to dribble some oil in and keep it going. So starting at the back here, we have a quite beaten up butt plate. Butt has seen some wear, rear sling swivel point, and then a really sporter style, almost like a sporting shotgun style, really sort of thin filigrane semi-pistol grip here. I mean, it feels great in the hand, but that's really skinny. I mean, I got size L hands. It's really, really, really skinny and ergonomic and very much sporter style. And in fact, you can probably just see under there that there's a slight crack starting. This was all beefed up in the actual production ones, and underneath here, this is very thin. Apparently Buddy said when he took it apart that the wood there is incredibly thin, so I'm amazed it survived given the number of rounds it's clearly had through the barrel and the amount of abuse has been put through. So, nice finger groove stock, and I mean, it balances well. To carry it at the trail, I mean, it balances like an SMLE really, even though it's a full-length rifle. So you can carry it at the trail like that and it balances very well. The rear sight is adjustable from 100 to 2200 meters, which is quite substantial. And again, this is kind of very sort of simplified SMLE style. It's very similar to some of the pre-Buffington American Krags. It's a good robust system, to be honest. And 3, 4, 4.5, 5. So there are some partway steps under there for those who want to have a complete view. There's 3 flush brass pins through here, which are at 500, 900 and 1500. Presumably they're sort of key range settings for Norwegian doctrine or something. Moving up here to the mid band, which doesn't actually, I mean, you could put a sling loop on there, but there isn't. There's this little sort of collection rack thing with RN185 Krag Norway. So this has probably been through France or Belgium at some point. 665, and then the serial number 8. So like many rifles of the era, it's a half handguard, only goes to the mid band, and then we've got an exposed barrel, which the bluing's actually externally in good condition. The bore is in terrible order. And then the front band, Norwegian style, number to the rifle, clearing rod, not a cleaning rod. And then bayonet mount and a barleycorn front sight, big chunky barleycorn front sight, which is driftable and has a locking nut. Now it's very difficult taking through the sight pictures, but as far as barleycorns go, it's not too bad. I mean, chunky blades are better, but well, I think you get the vague idea of roughly what that looks like. And then the bolt comes out in the classic Krag fashion. And can I do this? No, I can't actually do this with 2 hands. Anyway, it's in the See an Arsenal video. I'm not giving you any value add by showing you something that's there anyway. And one final ergonomic point is that the bolt handle is ever so slightly raked to the rear, but just a touch, turned down, and it comes basically in line with the trigger, which is pretty good. And then it has a throw like that, single locking lug, and yeah, that's about it. So there you go. I hope that was at least vaguely interesting. I mean, just a little swizz round a really rare special trials piece, and I hope I've added something to the total sum of human knowledge in addition to what Matthias had already done with his sterling work there. So please head on over there if you haven't already done so. Give them some love on Patreon in financial form. Please consider supporting us on Patreon so that we can keep doing stuff and nonsense like this. And there you go. Thank you very much, and see you again sometime. Bye.